Day 3's here, and there's a lot to do, but it's also one of the more boring days going into the game, so definitely strap back, and if you want, you can be bored with me together later on when we stream for Day 3. Let's jump into what you need to do so you don't fall behind, and you know the tips and tricks. First things first, do your summon arenas. Summon Arena, even though you may get destroyed in PvP, that's okay. It is super important to be doing everything in this game because there's only a finite amount of resources that you get access to, no matter if you're free to play, a light spender, or a whale. You're all limited by the resources outside of the pack set that you have the ability to buy. When you go into here, you can actually farm this really easily because there's bots. So even if you're a bad player or you're also just really weak, which could also be the situation, more likely than not, it's just that you're really weak against all the whales. It's okay. You can farm this very easily because eventually all the whales, they're already high up in these ranks, and as they keep going higher and higher, you're going to run into players that are about the same level as you, or you're going to run into those bots and you're going to be able to farm them for free wins. The reason why you want to farm them is because this shop is absolutely cracked. You can see right here I've already bought some of it because these shadow plates, they are so nice to have as we're going to be needing them going into Day 3 onward. But also there's perfect lattice fragments, and you're going to want these because if you can combine 50 of these together, what's going to happen is you will be able to create a P lattice. So this is a whole P lattice right here that you can get for 3,000 coins. Now, I actually think that you don't need to get this right away. You will be able to get this going into a little bit later. Also later on, you can get a free dupe from the dupe shop because those are what you use to purchase these, which is pretty nice. So that's something that you can try to go for. But in my opinion, I would actually recommend that you prioritize your orange shadow prints, the perfect lattices, and then pick up your summons. And to be honest, unless you're really pushing, you're not going to get a high enough rank that you're going to be able to actually buy all of these anima crystal points. There's two options you can do. You can either buy these and actually go here and use them to buy the SR animuses and wait until we rotate in characters like Victor or characters like Diting, who actually really want to have their imprints because DPSs really want them. Supports don't really need them. After you buy all of the stuff like buying your shadow prints, the fragments first, then your summons, you can really decide what you want to buy. If you're going to be pushing and you think that you can buy all of these, then absolutely you can stack them up and get a really powerful dupe later on for your DPS, or you can try to buy these so you can raise your gear a little bit faster. The Fearless Arena is also going to be unlocking, and this is a really important mode because you're going to want to go into this every single weekend. The rewards reset, and one of the rewards is just by participating 3 times, you get a free stability pot, which is what you use to pop for 100 stamina. So you definitely want to go and pick that up, and all you need to do is join and leave. Again, this is something where you should try your best because it also gives you more tickets that you can use in the shop here that go beyond the 2k limit that you can get a week from farming this. So you definitely want to participate in the Fearless Arena and try your best to get as much of the rewards as you can, and definitely at least for that stability pot. The next part of your day is going to be trying to clean up and expand your roster. As we're going in and we're going to be starting to unlock these hell modes a little bit later, and specifically the end game dungeons, we are going to be entering the mid game. In this mid game portion, you need very specific characters. This is why I have so many characters on that spreadsheet, but you really focus down to a very simple team at the start. As you see, for the most part, I've only been using the same few characters of Leanne, Gray, in my case Heinrich because I got him, Freya, and also I was using Sonya. Well, now I'm transitioning, so I have a little bit more damage to carry, so I haven't been using Sonya as much. Instead, I'm using characters like Marvel. This is also a situation where you're going to be building characters like Ramolka, should have already been built. If not, you're going to want to finish her off. And you can see I started to build characters like Dinah, Kazuya, and I even have characters like Mio and Beotin up here because I was building them as well. So this is a situation where if there's characters that you have that are pretty high value or on the spreadsheet, it's probably a good time to start building those. One of those characters that you're gonna have to decide between is if you're gonna build Diting or Victor. Diting is a really good single target DPS. Pretty much how he works is he has this really powerful passive. At the start of his turn, he will mark the lowest HP percentage enemy. Then if you attack them, he gets additional crit rate against them. Additionally, any of that crit rate that exceeds 100% will be converted into crit damage 1-to-1. This is really nice because he has really good multipliers, a big 400, and if you skill it up, 450% chance to hit, and he has, again, if you skill it up, a 100% chance to follow through with his S1. This is really powerful, 2 big hits altogether for a big DPS burst. Issue with him is that so many of our characters are AoE. If we take a look at all the characters that I have right now, we have Leanne, she's AoE, Gray has AoE, Heinrich AoE. Everyone that we have is AoE. So what ends up happening is if we don't get lucky on procs from pets and stuff hitting the boss, we can end up marking an ad, and that's not really useful to us. But it's really up to you. I think that he has a lot of potential. I think he's better for PvE, but not so good in PvP. I would actually prefer Victor. The reason I really like Victor is due to the fact that even though they nerfed his damage, he still hits like a truck. That's not going to change. Additionally, he has a really powerful kit for PvP because he still has his damage reduction. That was not nerfed at all. So what ends up happening is that, sure, he's a lot weaker for the damage department, but that just means that you can't be using him for one-shot teams. If you want one-shot teams for late game PvE, Diting will be your man. But if you are going to use him as a secondary DPS to pair with another powerful DPS, Victor is going to be really good. He's going to double up much better in PvP for you than a Diting would, simply due to the fact that he has still all that damage reduction built in. He still has a really good big shield that he generates with his burst, and he has sustain on his S1. So all these reasons are why I personally would still recommend Victor, and I myself am going to start building him. So should you start building him right away? Probably not, because I still need to raise stuff like Marvel here. So I'm going to be investing 4 Lattices here. So now I'm down to 7. I have 1 more here. I only have 6, and I still need my Kazia to get her last 2. So I'm at least going to be investing, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I only have 4. But there's going to be quite a few that you're going to get after the weekly reset. So what you can do is you can use this opportunity where you don't really have much to do, and you can farm the hardest stages in hell for your GP outpost to start building towards needing what you need to build these guys. Because as you see, I already have quite a few, but I could get more to finish off one of these dark units, because these are going to be really, really important when we get into the late game PvE stages. And they can also be pretty good at expanding your roster to help you in your RTA climb. Speaking of GP Outpost, even if you're struggling, don't worry, I'm also struggling here. This is a little bit hard to do right off the rip without actually building really powerful tank comps. This is due to the fact that characters like Messiah are really, really annoying, mostly with this ad here that you can't push back. So if you're not fast enough or you get bad RNG, then this fight can be really, really difficult for you. If you can farm stage 2 or even only stage 1, don't be afraid to just farm those, simply due to the fact that those are going to do so much more for you. So just farm these. It's better to not be wasting and losing a stamina every failed run, because those add up very quickly to a run that you could have done at a lower rarity and gotten roughly the same rewards. It's only a few point differences between these. If you haven't already finished off your shells, you're going to want to continue and finish off them now, as you don't actually need to ascend your Twilight Knights. But if everyone else is built up and you already have enough GP Outpost stuff, you can go back to Fabian and you can try to ascend them then. Besides that, you should be finishing off right now with having at least 2 of your Twilight Knights for your DPSs. You should at least be having 1 black flag. This one I would recommend ascending because you do actually care about the extra speed. And I would still recommend 1 diamond heart. The reason why 1 diamond heart is still recommended, even though some people would say you can skip it because you're going to get Artisan, even though Artisan unlocks at level 35, you're still going to be able to utilize the diamond heart because, like we talked about previously, we're going to be starting to build a bunch of different characters. And as our roster expands, it's going to be hard to really keep up with building all these shells because the amount of cost for building your shells, just like your modules, goes up with rarity. You're not really going to be able to afford to build up your artisans right off the bat, right? So what's going to happen is you're probably going to be sitting on a random diamond heart. And that diamond heart, sure, it's a downgrade, but it's still pretty good. And when you're doing stuff like RTA or even just trying to expand your roster, this is going to be something that you can sit on until you're actually able to afford to build that second artisan a little bit later. And you're still going to be able to get value out of it for the next couple of days at least. And like I said, you get 70% back when you get rid of these shells, so you're not losing too much. If you're struggling to get your Twilight Knights, I would actually say that what you could do is try a little bit of attack that we did yesterday, which was after we had a diamond heart, we ended up going and doing what some of my guildmates did, which was farming the hard Fabian. The hard Fabian has a lower amount of the yellow shells, which means effectively whenever you get one, you have a better chance as it becomes a 50-50 rather than a 33% chance to get the shell that you're desiring. I've seen mixed success with this. Personally, I had a lot of success getting a lot of bees, but I've had guildmates post screenshots where they just got a bunch of mermaid princesses and white gales. For the most part, I think that it's more of an anecdotal thing. So I could say that definitely farm the nightmare up until you get at least a diamond heart fully built and possibly ascended. After you have that, you can maybe try to see if your luck is a little bit better farming the hard stage if you don't already have all the stuff you need for your Twilight Bees or your Black Flags. So that's everything that you need to know about day 3. See you guys then.